Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Mike Frey and I'm very passionate about tabletops and I'm learning to be a better GM, better player, and a better person. And I'm going to share with you some of the cool stuff that I've been learning. Today I want to talk to you about some observations I've had at multiple tables with multiple people. And kind of reflecting on it has led me to sort of feel like I kind of need to challenge this much used phrase of like, you can do anything that's often said to players, new ones especially. The reality is that, like, however well meaning using that phrase might be in intention, I'm not sure it impacts and communicates exactly what we want, and it sort of ends up sitting somewhere between pressure and uselessness. The phrase, you can do anything, sounds like an invitation, but in practice, it's often just kind of a passive aggressive demand. Like, the only reason you aren't like getting it or whatever is because you aren't being imaginative enough. But like, it's not unreasonable to, when you haven't really been part of this space and haven't really done this kind of thing, to not really know what that means because it's too open. Players ultimately then need meaningful context, not infinite options. The phrase, you can do anything, is only useful if players understand what anything looks like in this world at this moment from their character's perspective. That's why I'm recommending gentle direction from the game master, because I think and I have seen that it makes such a big difference. So instead of asking just like, what do you do? And remember, you can do anything. Offer players a short list of options. This is not constraining them. This is kind of anchoring them and giving them insight into what decision making can look like. So, as an example, instead of you're outside the manor, what do you do? Maybe try you're outside the manor. You could sneak around, look for another entrance to enter without being seen. You can knock on the door and just talk to whoever answers, either truthfully or pretending to be someone else. Or you can do something else entirely. What do you want to do? This does not take away freedom, it does the opposite. It clarifies the situation. It tells the player these are the kind of actions that are valid here, and like, you don't need to invent anything from thin air. Like, we work on this together. It also, I have found, really helps people and players who kind of feel nervous about playing it wrong. And I've found even occasionally veteran players who are kind of spinning their wheels benefit from just sort of a nudge to get their gears to start turning. So having any kind of like compass directions help players kind of figure out what kind of action they want to do and how the world might respond to the action. So framing situations with 2 or 3 different sample approaches and a reminder that they can always invent their own does a couple of fairly powerful things. One is that I feel like it lowers the fear of getting it wrong and sort of generally reminds people not to be intimidated. This is a collaborative, inviting good time. Secondly, it teaches what doing anything actually means and what it looks like at this table and for you as the GM. Without some kind of structure, what you think of as offering freedom can really feel like you're being put on the spot without a safety net or being tested, rather than being empowered. And I mean, apart from it kind of just being a sort of content inviting from a purely psychological perspective, too many choices regularly will lead to decision paralysis. So, seeing you can do anything without offering any nuggets to help or anchor to is kind of the same energy as basically shoving someone onto a stage in front of a room full of people without a script or scene partner and say, okay, go. Remember, you can do anything. Anyway, that is all I have. If you like this video, consider subscribing. But if you don't like notifications or subs, I do have a backlog of stuff. Also have an audio only format with a transcript and a written blog, if those are better from like an app accessibility perspective. I'm also on a couple of APs, links to all that in the description. But otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out. Come see you again soon. Bye.